So what is state management in Flutter? Before getting to know about state management, you need to know what is state in Flutter. So in simple words, the state refers to the data that describe the current state of the application. And in Flutter, the state is managed by the stateful widget, which is the widget which can change its behavior or appearance based on the internal state. And the stateful widget holds the state in memory and provides the methods to update a state, like the setState method. When the state of the stateful widget changes, the widget is rebuilt to reflect the new state, and this rebuild process is handled automatically by the Flutter's framework, and it ensures that the app always reflects the current state. To manage the state in larger applications, you can use the state management libraries such as the Provider, Riverpod, and the Bloc, etc., which provide a more powerful and flexible way to manage the state of the application. The most cleanest and powerful state management solution in Flutter is Bloc, which stands for the business logic component, and this Bloc is also recommended by the Google to use it as state management solutions in the apps. So what is Bloc? Before getting to know about this, remember in this section, everything related to the Bloc will be explained theoretically, and after this section, we will practically use the Bloc first in a simple application and then in a complex application to clear your confusions and make you more familiar with the library. So in simple words, the Bloc is design pattern to separate the business logic from the UI, and the Bloc has three main components that are the events, the block itself, and the stat. So the events represent the actions and the interactions which are triggered on the UI, like the user click the buttons and the form state change, etc. And the block business logic component, this component receives the events, processes them, and returns a specific stat. And the state refers to the current condition of the app at the given point in time. So that was the basic components of the Bloc to manage the state efficiently. And also the Bloc architecture looks something like this. We have the UI. When some events trigger on the UI, that will come to the Bloc, and simply this will send requests to the data, this will give us the response, and finally the states will be emitted on the UI. And that's how we are managing the state efficiently of our applications, and also separating the business logic from the UI. So here on the UI, we are going to have only the direct code for the UI, and simply our business logic will be located in the Bloc. So again, that's how we have separated the business logic from our UI and manage our state of the application efficiently. And also one more thing about the Bloc you need to know, that is the Bloc works with streams. So what is stream? A stream is a way of sending data over time, or an asynchronous way of handling the data. In the Bloc, the stream is used to emit the current state of the application so that any interested parties can listen to the stream and receive the updates of the state as they happen. When the Bloc state changes, it sends an update of the state through stream. This update is then received by any listeners that are subscribed to the stream. In this way, the Bloc can send the updates of the state to any part of the application that needs to know about it, without a need for the direct communication between the Bloc and other parts of the application. To make it more clear, we have this diagram. The Bloc receives the events that trigger on the UI and process them, and then simply emits the state in the stream. Now in Flutter, the widgets that listen to the stream are the Bloc Builder and the Bloc Consumer widgets, which are the widgets provided by the Flutter Bloc package or the library. So these widgets rebuild the UI in response to the state changes, making the app more responsive to the changes of the state. So you will see the use of these widgets also in the next section. So this way, exposing streams to emit the states allow for a decoupled and reactive way of update the UI based on the state of the app. It allows us for clear separation of concerns and make it easy to test and maintain the state of the application. So that's all you need to know about the Bloc library. So in the next section, every confusions in your mind will be cleared when you use the Bloc practically in our application. And also, the Bloc and its components will be explained again while using the Bloc in that application. So that's it. Now see you in the next section.